Bienvenidas.
And we're going to be talking about the next production of ROTC, Separate is Never Equal. And so, Annette, why don't you tell us a little bit about how did you come to know about this book? It's a book, for those who are interested in the children's book, and it's about Sylvia Mendez and her family's fight for desegregation. And so tell us a little bit about how did you come across this book?
Well, interestingly enough, and Don Bartolo, who is the co-writer and director of this particular production, actually called me and said he had just gotten a book, a children's book, and he thought immediately that the Rochester Latino Theater Company should produce it as a play. And when I read it, I wholeheartedly agreed with him. So we spent about 5-6 months in production with the writing of the script, collaborating very hands-on, and came up with an adaptation from the book with a script, and really looked at the power of the story and the need for the story to be told in a theatrical venue and format.
And this is a book has won plenty of awards, to be honest, and it's
amazing. Yes,
it's a very beautiful book, and it's written by Duncan. Se cayó una cosa en el piso, eso está bien, no te apures. We're only live, it's fine.
Yeah. So, just so that people know, Sylvia Mendez was only 8 when she played this instrumental role in her life.
Correct.
That's huge.
Correct. What happened is she was living in Westminster County, California, and her aunt, her titi, decided to register her and her 2 brothers and her 2 cousins at the local public school. Her 2 cousins were very light-skinned Latinos because they were half French and half Mexicano. Sylvia Mendez herself actually is half Puerto Rican. Her mother is Puerto Rican and her father is Mexicano. And so subsequently she was born a U.S. citizen in California. They were denied. They were denied because of the color of their skin and because the view and perception at that time was that Mexicanos, Chicanos needed to be in a separate school. Now, if the separate school had been at the same quality as the all-white school, that would not be an issue. But that Mexican school was a 1-room barn. It was no playground and next to a field of cows that had an electric fence around it. So you can see that separate in this case was not equal.
So in that time period, segregated schools was not uncommon.
Correct.
Because as we know,
And not just for
in the southern states,
right.
in many states in the United States at that time, blacks and whites were very much segregated.
Exactly. So it wasn't I think the story isn't anything new in that time. I think the newness of it is that this happened before Brown versus Board of Education.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people know about Brown versus Board of Education, but what people don't know is this story here is that the same legal folks, for the most part, that were part of this process with Sylvia was the same part of Brown versus Board of Education.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So Sylvia she really did start this
That movement
and conversation, and so it's one of those things that, when we talk about civil rights movements, Latinos were also a part of that as well.
Perfectly stated, Stephanie, and that's really the bigger context with which this story is placed in, is that civil rights was not just a black-white issue, it was brown-faced, and specifically Puerto Ricans, because Puerto Ricans were the only U.S. citizens, Latino U.S. citizens, born automatically U.S. citizens, yet we also have the same challenges of being denied access to voter registration. So this case really is about affirming the Latino voice in the civil rights movement and writing American history to include Latinos' voices and Latinos who really represent bringing about social and change for our people.
That's wonderful.
It's extraordinary. It's very exciting, and we have here
Young
Sylvia,
Sylvia.
Young Sylvia. So the interesting role about this is that Bart decided, or I'm sure Annette was in on it as well. It's a great show. It's a great production piece. There's 2 Sylvias. So we have one of the young ladies here who plays Sylvia, Isabella Martinez.
Hi.
Hi, Isabella.
How are you?
I'm good.
Great. So you're going to be playing Sylvia.
Wow.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yes. So how do you feel thus far? You know, you've gone through rehearsals. This is your second production?
Yeah.
Right? So how do you feel going through everything right now and you're playing the part of Sylvia?
I feel very proud for playing Sylvia because she was a very important person in history, and I think this story should be told in schools.
Oh,
How old are
wonderful.
you, Isabel?
I'm 11 years old.
11 years old.
So Isabel, I want to ask you something. Have you always wanted to act?
Yeah.
Yes?
Mhm.
So this is like lifelong dream, right?
Mhm.
Happening now.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And in the lead role, nonetheless, no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
So let me ask you something. Can you imagine what life might have been like for, like, if it was you in Sylvia's shoes? You know, those 40, 50, 60 years ago?
It would have been tough going through that stuff because there was a lot of stuff that she had to worry about and a lot of deprivation.
Yeah.
She's so smart for 11, right? I'm sitting here like, oh, I'm so intrigued by you.
And the wonderful thing is, Isabella has been on our radar for a couple of years because she came up to me and said, I want to be an actress, I want to be in a play 2 years ago. So
Wow.
it's a perfect way that Rochester Latino Theater Company really develops our Latino artists in our community, and she's just a great example. And we're going to see her branch out into other theater companies because she is a driven, passionate, committed young lady.
Thank you.
Tell us about
It's gonna
memorizing all those lines. Because you have a lot of lines. You're like
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
No pressure.
How do you memorize lines?
I just memorize them by writing them out. Yeah.
Very good. And what are the kinds of, have you ever worked with anybody else but that you've met in the show before? So did you know people before?
Yes.
Who did you know?
My mom.
Well, I'm glad you know her.
She's a great person to know. So tell us a little bit about things that you've learned while going through this process. Because you want to be an actress. So what are the kinds of things that you've learned, the lessons of what does it take to be an actress?
Emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
So when you are you have to feel the emotions inside of you. If you're in those shoes, you are acting, you have to be in that character. Yeah.
So poised at 11.
I know.
I can't get over it. I'm like, at 11, I don't think I was that poised. So Sylvia Mendez, we actually were able to get a hold of her. And actually, we barely fit into her schedule. Like, the show was perfectly timed because she has such a busy schedule. But she'll be joining us live and in person, hopefully with her Medal of Honor that she got from President Obama
I've asked.
on opening night.
So we want to remind everyone, if you want to get your tickets, you want to jump on the
Muck.org.
right, the website, which is, I don't have it written down.
www.muccc.org.
Yes. And the show runs June 10th through the 12th with 4 shows.
So I bought my tickets already.
Yay!
Hubby and I are going. So Hubby, you know, we're in the calendar. Friday night, we're gonna be there, 6 o'clock.
Friday night.
Sylvia will be part of the VIP night that Friday night, which is, I'm so excited to meet
Me
her.
too.
She's such a lovely lady. Isabella, how do you feel about playing the woman that you're actually going to meet on opening night?
I feel very excited because I didn't know that she was coming to the show. And yeah,
Did we just tell you that now? Or did we find out earlier? Just
earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Trying to put too much pressure.
I know.
Are there questions you're gonna ask her, or what do you think? Like, how excited is that?
No question.
No question.
Oh, I bet you you're gonna have something when you see
Something.
her.
Yeah,
I bet you will.
The wonderful, exciting thing with having Sylvia here is that really, if we look at the city school district and our national school system, there's still segregation based on economic economic income and inequality. So it's going to be a wonderfully exciting opportunity. She will have just turned 80 years old.
Oh, wow.
She is as sharp as a tack. I mean, totally there. She will be here less than 24 hours. And we feel incredibly honored to have her here. And she really, she also feels incredibly honored that we've taken the story, her story, and really brought it to life. And even now, we have a couple of school districts that are looking at how do they incorporate this story into American history and social studies curriculum. So it's really kind of started a wave of that Latino identity and here locally, and who knows how it will impact nationally, especially with immigration being a topical issue with our presidential election today. California, we've had major anti-Trump rallies. Yay!
So right, and so the things is that we have to, when we have to talk about the humanity in these topics, not just the political sense of it, but the humanity, the stories behind it, who are the people behind these stories, and just talk about understanding one another, and it's not, an us versus them, but how can we all come together and just have these conversations about what is the human story behind these issues, and it's not always something about politics, it's just about the humanity of it all, how can we find that in there. So Isabella, what school do you go to? What grade are you in?
I'm in school 46 and I'm in 5th grade.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what other things do you like to do besides acting?
I like to sing, dance, and just be me.
That's called the triple threat in
Yes.
theater. We have all three, Mijita.
We'll have to get into musicals next.
Oh,
It
yeah.
has to.
I'm sure Annette's got something up her
I
sleeve.
do.
How did I know that?
Yeah.
I'm sure she does, so it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. My mother sings too, so yeah.
Oh my God. Great plug for your mom.
I know.
Love that.
Great plug
Who's
for your
managing
mom.
who here?
She's
In
like,
fact-
she's taking me on that ride.
In fact, she'll be singing next Saturday
She will,
at
at
the
the gala.
Ibero
Oh,
Gala.
nice.
No, not her mom.
Her mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
When you're looking at her, I'm like, no, her mom.
I know. Wonderful. Well, we're gonna take a little break.
Yeah, we are.
And we're gonna bring back
Yeah.
Don and Nicole, who plays the other Sylvia, and we'll talk a little bit to her and Bart when we
Yeah.
come back.
Thank you for the opportunity to ask.
You're,
You're
s-
here.
You're welcome.
Here. Yeah.
You're welcome.
you're so cute, Isabella. We're excited to have you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
Cool. Julio's gonna hook us up with some music.
Yeah. So,
All right.
yeah.
Awesome.